Hi, folks. Dr. Marcus Wenzel here. I am your ED421 instructor this term. It is my honor to walk you through some of the basic knowledge and concepts of educational technology and introduce you to some of the things that you'll be using this year and with the remainder of your teaching career, right? Educational technology is transforming how we teach. This is an overview that's just going to give you a little brief kind of a look at the different Canvas parts and the things that you want to pay attention to. First off, when you arrive at the home page, you'll notice over on the left side, you've got your blue menu items. I would really strongly urge everyone every single time that you log on to Canvas to check out the announcements. I use the announcements a lot throughout the course to introduce different tools that you could specifically use, items that are coming up in the news, and we do use the announcements as a teachable moment and a way to introduce things very quickly. The other links that you'll see over there, you've got one for modules and one for badges, syllabus, and grades. Now, this class uses badges rather than letter grades for your individual assignments. As you read the syllabus, you are going to read about how we assign badges and how those badges will translate into your final grades that are submitted to the registrar at the end of the term. It's a little different perhaps than some of your traditional assessment practices, but we're finding that gamification and badges are becoming much more common in education these days. As you look at the homepage, you're also going to see your standard list of to-do items over on the right. There are 4 large buttons here in the middle of the page. You can use these to access all the course content, or you can use these over here as well. Doesn't really matter. One of the things that I do want to point out to you is the questions. Ask them here forum. Questions do come up in online classes. This is an asynchronous online class, which means you are working on your own. There are no synchronous sessions that are currently scheduled, and it's often very easy for you to become lost or kind of confused about what's going on. And because I can't see those confused looks on your faces when it does arise, I want you to use this form here. Rather than reaching out and emailing me directly with the question, ask it here, then everybody can benefit from it. So I've already put a few common questions on there first. As they come around, use this so that everybody can benefit. Now, obviously, if there's a question of a personal nature or grades or something like that, you can certainly email me. But I really want everybody to make the effort to use the questions asked them here. The other thing are the modules on here. And what you're going to see is this class is arranged around 5 different chapters. Each chapter takes 2 weeks to complete. It will not take you the full 2 weeks to do. I think for most of these chapters, you can do them in a couple of hours. You want to plan ahead because you're all very busy individuals. Chapter 1 is the priorities and partners badge. This is involving a lot of diagnostic kind of information, getting to know you, community building activities. There's a philosophy of ed, sharing your beliefs about this. But please note that the first task of the priorities and partners badge is due on January 8th. That is just 48 hours away. It is a very short amount of time, but I need to make sure that everybody's able to get logged in and showing participation. So please take note of that. And then you'll notice the other tasks on there as well are not due until January 19th. Don't wait until the very end to do them because sometimes technology fails, things happen, and you get busy, life happens. My advice is to start working on each one of these as early as possible and give yourself plenty of time to do this. Chapter 2, we're going to dive into the frameworks and standards that are supposedly going to guide your ed tech use in your career. You'll notice that these are all due on February 2nd. Chapter 3 is a section on digital citizenship and how we can be decent human beings to each other online. Chapter 4 about 21st century literacies. How can we identify things like fake news, do good online research, and also a chance for you to apply some of this stuff. Many of you that are going to be working on your WU TPA to use this to integrate into your lesson planning that you're going to be doing for your other classes and also turning in for that portfolio. You're going to wrap up this class in March with a chapter on professional development. We'll talk a little bit about artificial intelligence, digital equity, and some of these long-term projects that for you as you go forward. You'll also notice down at the bottom of the modules page, there are 8 different, I call them specialty badges. As you read the syllabus, you're going to note that in order to get a B plus in the class, the bare minimum that you should strive for, you have to complete all 5 of the chapters. Most of you, however, are probably striving for a little something higher than a B plus. And so what that means is that you'll need to tackle one of these specialty badges for an A minus, or if you want to get an A in Ed 421, you're going to need to complete two of these. And each one of these specialty badges has two sections. Let's take a look at the learner badge together. What you see at the top is a little overview, a connection for the learner badge to the ISTE technology standards. And then each one of these has two sections below. You have a section on the top where you're going to actually look at some different tools that you might be able to use, and you're going to play with them, you're going to create with them, you're going to let us know what you think about that. And then there's an application section below, and that's where you're actually going to take some of these tools or take something and you're going to apply it to your own classroom application. So for those of you that are interested in learning more about technology, I've supplied a couple of tasks for you, and you get to pick one of those. So you're doing two things in each one of these specialty badges. You're playing with tools, and then you're also applying these tools. Um, so as you begin your teacher candidacies and you're starting to dive into the work, you may want to see if there's any of these specialty badge tasks that actually can apply in your classroom. And then you can double dip. You can use them here for Ed 421, and you can also use them with your students in your classroom. Some very popular ones, the citizen badge is also very popular, the designer badge. But yeah, go through and see which ones speak to your strengths, see which your classroom needs are, and see if you can use these things to learn more about becoming a more tech savvy teacher. I do strongly urge all of you to read the course syllabus, read the whole stinking thing. It has information about timing, about our course policies. It gives the general rubric that I'll use to assess you for all of your various tasks as well. Please pay attention to the policies, course policies. We do follow the WU course policies on late work and also about academic honesty, artificial intelligence, and these things like that. So please take a few minutes and just read through that, and that will answer the majority of your questions, I'm sure. Let me scooch this out of the way so I can close that. Let's see, what else is important for you to know about? I think that is it for today. I will be around if you have questions. Of course, you now know where you're going to ask them. You're going to ask them here in the questions, ask them here. But please know that I am looking forward to working with all of you, and I'll see you online. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.